Hi everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, we're here on our fourth and final show for the Bolivar Lighthouse. You know, we talked about history on the first two shows, and we talked about the foundation and the direction they were going up to this point where the crown has been removed. And now we're going to talk about the future and talk about some highlights and how funds are raised so that you can get involved and who all gets involved in this. So, Amy, thanks for joining us. This is last one. Let's talk about the highlights. Through every project, you have your ups and downs. We've talked about the rain, so we'll consider that the downs. Let's talk about the highlights.
Yeah, so back in 2018, that's when the first conditions assessment was done, to look and see the structural integrity, what we were kind of looking at, and kind of get us a repair and restoration estimate, which was kind of, we're looking at the $2.5 million mark back in 2018. At that point, David, being that top, you know, the conical, up there, we actually put a conical, we put a compression steel brace up there into those conical windows that you see if you're looking up at the top, because there was eroded masonry through there in order to prevent further deterioration. And then in 2021, we had Architectus, our renowned architectural group, come in and draft kind of a master restoration plan for what does this look like.
Because this is a historical.
It is.
And so it has to go through certain steps.
Correct.
And stay a certain way.
It does. So it's on the National Register of Historic Places. It was placed in 1977. So everything does need to be done to the Code of Interior, the Secretary of Interior standards. So in 2022, we had engineers, Pat Sparks and our engineering team come in and our masonry, with the Manning masonry guys that are just so amazing. And they dug a test pit to evaluate and look down to look at the anchor rods and the bolts to look at the integrity. And I will tell you, this made us extremely nervous. Can you imagine a 151-year-old structure? And now we're looking, but we needed to look to see the integrity. And David, we got down there, and what's amazing is basically the anchor rods and the bolts were in perfect condition 150 years later.
Because they hadn't had air around them, probably. Yeah. That's so, my thought.
There you go. And covered in shellcrete. Which is really interesting. So we were very blessed, put it back as it is, that it was in good of condition that it was.
And for those that don't know, this is actually metal wrapped brick. Cast iron wrapped brick. It's actually brick on the inside, so that you'll hear it. You've heard us talk about the brick and stuff, and I just wanted to let y'all know, and we'll try and get a picture of it. But this is a foundation brick, and I've actually got a drawing of it. But, you know, through every project, especially historical projects like this, a lot of foundations go out for grants and fundraising. Let's talk about the fundraising and grants.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, David. So in 2022, we were awarded the United States Lighthouse Society Preservation Grant. We were one of 5 lighthouses in the country, so we were super blessed. We've got a great relationship with them. They're a wonderful organization, and they're thrilled with what we are doing. We also received a grant from the Texas Historical Foundation, and it was great. We welcomed them down a couple months ago and did a site visit with everyone, and they presented a check, which was lovely, and such a wonderful group to work with. And then we were also placed on Preservation Texas's Most Endangered list for 2022, which has given us publicity. Actually, was back in Beaumont a couple of weeks ago as one of the guest speakers for their Southeast Texas Summit, which was great because, again, it's expanding awareness of our project and what we're doing and how others can get involved. So those are some of the grants, and we'll be continuing to apply for grants as we're doing this in our fundraising efforts to restore the lighthouse. But we were really blessed that these were grants we went for that we received, and again, are helping us to fulfill our commitment as we're moving forward in fundraising efforts. And
the top's off now, and what's the process from here on out? Where do you stand? Is it out for bids? Are you fundraising? And then let's talk about the direction you're going now.
So the top needs to be refabricated. It was too delicate. There's things that we'd love to be able to reuse if we can, David. So we're in the process of getting those bids right now from some different local companies and companies around who can refabricate this crown to her original glory. You know, and it's great nowadays. You can do things with modern materials. So we're looking at all avenues for as far as economical. Longevity, integrity. So we're looking at all of that as we're getting these bids on the top to get refabricated with that. So fundraising efforts will be coming in line with that as we're looking at what is that dollar amount, what is it going to take. I know I was able to share with you that we interviewed with Colin Reed of Yoga Paints, which has made a commitment to donate all the coatings to paint this and coat the lighthouse,
right,
and coat it back to black and white.
And he went into detail. If you didn't see our show, it was last month on the 151st anniversary, which, what was the date on
November 19th.
It was on the 19th of November, and so you can go back and see that because it's actually an epoxy, it sounded like. It's detailed on from the prep to how they're going to apply it and everything, and so I was happy to hear that because the way he explained it, no worries from here on out.
Right, right, exactly. So we are looking at companies that'll be able to do this vapor blasting. So we're trying to do that. So we've got a lot of balls, in motion and rolling, David. But one of them that's really exciting right now, y'all, is that many of you may have seen. I think this kind of went viral last night. George McMillan, again, what a saint, what an incredible soul. Jordan McMillan, Austin Gibson, Mariah, they built a star, and that
star is going to stay up.
It is going to stay up
till death do us part, till the crown.
Till we have a crown back on there, and we are opening the ground to the public a couple of times during the holidays, and so we are thrilled to be able to do that and have people come on and take selfies and be able to get up close on the property, which makes us really happy and my heart happy to be able to do this and welcome in safely. And it's magnificent. I mean, we lit this up last night for the first time just to make sure that everything was going to go without a hitch. And again, George
never turned off.
No, we didn't turn it off.
I texted George. I was setting out on the highway, and I texted George the pictures I sent you. And about an hour later, he texted me back and told me that he was at home one evening, and it came to his heart. And he approached the foundation, and they agreed.
Absolutely.
And his son built the star. And if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure it's on here. Star's 15 foot 8 inches tall. The cables that go from the top down are 112 feet with lights on it. And from what Amy said, those lights are going to change depending on the season. I'm waiting to see the pink lights for Valentine's Day, but anyway, let's talk fundraising, people that want to get involved. And, I made it a point for my birthday, we ask everyone to donate, but you don't have to donate a lot.
You don't.
$5, even
Absolutely.
If a child has $1 and they want to donate it, it's a great cause. And so how can people get involved in that? Learn about fundraisers you're going to have. Where should they go for all that information?
To our website.
Okay.
And Facebook, we're sharing this information. There's a Donate Now tab. And David, to your point, first of all, thank you so much for your 60th birthday, for doing that for us. I mean, it was a wonderful, we're blessed by your generosity.
I'm going to mess everyone up next year and tell them I'm 61, so they're going to have to do $61.
Perfect, bring it on. And that was a fabulous occasion, y'all. So let me just tell you this, when David has a party, he has a party.
And I'm already told Jamie Bergeron I want him back again next year.
And let me tell you, if you haven't heard Jamie play, unbelievable. You could not fit another person.
Cajun music.
You could not. It was fabulous. You couldn't fit another person down there and down below.
Sweets I shouldn't have eaten. We ate. I'm sure a few people had some drinks they shouldn't have had. But let's talk about the website real quick, because anything you need on that website.
It is. So BolivarPointLighthouse.org is where you can go. You can see we're going to be updating, with fundraising plans. Like you said, we're leaving the star up. We have plans throughout the rest of the year to bring other people, in for other occasions that we're going to be doing. And this is the first year with this light up. We're going to keep doing that every year as one of our fundraisers. So we'll have more around the 152nd anniversary. So we're in the process of getting all of this kind of laid out for the next year, David. So I'll be able to come back and share plans of what we're doing for fundraising efforts. But, David, to your point, this is the Peninsulas, and to be able to do this, down the road, we envision a visitor center, a history center where we can tell the history, because there is so much to be told here, an educational curriculum for the kids to be able to know, for them, down the road, to be able to come in and understand, the lighthouse, just again, the history, the architecture, meteorology. There's so much to share about this.
And it's not just the lighthouse. And that's what I wanted people to know. It's your plans for the information center, your plans to open it up to the
Yes.
public. Maybe not every day, but certain days.
Absolutely.
It's the plans for groups to be able to come in and take private tours down the road. And then also, let's talk about the passport, because this is a world-renowned thing.
It is absolutely. And so, David, when we came in and started doing this, we're on the United States Lighthouse website, and they're talking about this passport. And I'm like, what is this passport thing? And they said, well, there's stamps. And I said, well, do we have a stamp? And they said, well, yes, the year was incorrect. So they recorrected that, and they sent us a stamp. And then Barbara Hornbeck was awesome and said, you know what, I saw that you can have one for your 150th or a big momentous milestone. So we actually have 2 stamps. So people go all over the United States. It looks just like a passport that you would have going out of the country. And they go around they take tours, and they get their lighthouse stamped. And even in Texas, you can go down to Port Isabel. There's other lighthouses that you can go and get your passport stamped. But it is amazing. There are people, we call it the fan mail, that will send a self-addressed stamped envelope. They will send a small donation in the mail, and they want an index card stamp to be able to add to their passport. So it's down the road when we're open and be able to share this, to be able to stamp this. We actually hosted the United States Lighthouse Society. They came for a tour, 2 years ago now, and they all had their passports. We sat there and got to stamp them. And it's really a neat program, and people love this. And so I get real excited thinking, we all get really excited thinking, gosh, that'll be so awesome.
Have you seen any of those really full of people that come in?
Oh, yes. I will tell you, especially that group that came in. This gentleman had countless lighthouse passports.
Where they've gone and gone and gone.
Absolutely, where they've gone and gone and gone. And it's really neat. And the people that will send, self-addressed envelope, they'll send a donation in the mail, and they'll want their card stamped. Some of them will literally send a picture from 1978.
When they were here.
Yeah. And they'll say, I painted this, or someone wrote a poem to us. The love, and I just keep saying, for the love of a lighthouse, just keeps bringing people together.
Well, there's been songs written, there's been movies filmed, there's probably been some proposals around the lighthouse.
There is. There have been. There
somewhere.
Absolutely.
There may be some divorces around the lighthouse, but it's just, I talk about the lighthouse a bunch, especially since I've got involved with Amy. I talk about Fort Travis, and this is sort of like a historical end of Bolivar. You have the lighthouse here. In fact, I sent one of the pictures I shot to one of the news people and said, hey, this is a great opportunity to go to the lighthouse, see it lit at night, but during the day you can go to Fort Travis.
Absolutely.
We have 27 miles of beach you can walk on and drive on. You can go see some of the family-owned shops and stores. We've got family-owned restaurants. It's just a full day or a full weekend down here is no problem. So we're going to wrap up. Do we have any last minute?
I just want to say, David, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Doing to help with
I
all
love
this. Because it's going to, I do too. And we are so blessed. Again, I can't say our board, they're all volunteer. Every single donation that you make, be it $1, be it $5, be it what it bill, every bit counts. It all goes straight to the foundation. It all goes straight
to the lighthouse.
It absolutely goes.
No one gets paid on the foundation board.
No, not myself.
Yeah.
There is not one of us.
And so that's, you see a lot of boards where, the executive director, they're making $100,000 or $300,000. And what are you really donating to? Well, people here know you're donating to the lighthouse. And if you donate 50 cents a year or a month or $1 a year or $5, that's all going to the lighthouse. It's not going so that the board can vacation in Belize or somewhere, because they live here. They're local, they live in the area, and they've got a great group put together. And like you said about George McMillan, I can't wait to see what he comes up with next.
Me too. We get a text, we get a phone call, and I go, God, great, it's fabulous. I mean, he is a master.
Always thinking.
We're blessed. And Jordan, to be able to execute all of, I can't say enough. We're blessed beyond measure.
It was neat reading the email, and you could, or the text from him whenever I sent him the pictures of how it came about and what was done. So anyway, We're going to head on out. We're going to wrap up our 4-week series now on the Bolivar Lighthouse. Remember, for more information on the Point Bolivar Lighthouse, to donate, to get involved with some of the fundraising, or just to say hi, go to their website at bolivarpointlighthouse.org. Everything's there. Be watching for our shows. Make sure you come to my birthday party this year,
Absolutely, do not want to miss it.
we're going to wing it up again and raise some more money. So we're going to head on out. Thank Amy. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.
The Big Store, located at 2385 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, on Bolivar Peninsula. If you're on Bolivar Peninsula and you need anything, stop by the Big Store, where you'll be greeted by a staff of smiling faces and a staff that's eager to help you find what you're looking for. The Big Store is a fully stocked grocery store with fresh fruits and vegetables, meat department with hand-cut steaks, canned goods, dairy products, frozen foods, and beer and wine. The Big Store is also home to a gift shop, camping and fishing supplies, RV supplies, tools and hardware, and home goods, all under one roof. The Bolivar Peninsula Superstore, like they say, if the Big Store doesn't have it, chances are you really don't need it. For more information on the Big Store and their weekly sales ad, please visit www.thebigstore.us.